What's going on, guys? It's LadyB. Today we're going to focus on a little bit more ZapQuake, but we're going to talk about ZapQuake with hogs, and we're going to take a look at a really cool ZapQuake Lalo from Shazo, and this all comes out of Dark Unicorns, who you saw in the ESL World Championship pre-qualifiers this weekend. So we've been talking a lot about ZapQuakes lately, and it's because it's one of the most popular strategies that we have coming around. It's very versatile. It works for a lot of different raids, but more commonly we see it with Lalo. Today we're going to focus on two. One is Lalo, which just came out of a recent war in Champions War League Esports Division against Space Station Gaming. These are all from Dark Unicorns, but first we're going to take a look at a ZapQuake Hog attack that came from Ixalis from the ESL World Championship pre-qualifiers. Now, they had such a great go. They had a near-perfect war against Nishong Dance in the round of 64, 3% shy from that 15-star war result, which unfortunately didn't happen. It turned out to be a time fail, 97% 2-star, but still a phenomenal showing. They went on into round of 32 to take on J-Off, take them out only to be done in by Indian Tribe in round of 16. And Indian Tribe actually continued on and won their spot in the September qualifiers. So they're actually going to have two teams. So I gotta say, it can't be that bad for the Dark Unicorns to be taken down by a team that's moving on into the World Championship qualifiers. So again, it was a phenomenal showing from them, but I think this was a really cool attack to display, and that's the ZapQuake Hog. And with that, let's head in and take a look. Ixalis brings us a ZapQuake raid, but he brings us something that we don't get to see very often, and that's the ZapQuake with the use of hogs. I think what I love the most about this particular raid is his capitalization off the design of the base to actually help initiate some of the funnel value for this hog pathing. But initially with these ZapQuakes, we see the ZapQuake kicking it off, taking out a portion of the core to create the value needed. And he looks to take out the CC and those ground bows in the core there, shifting the Quake back so not to activate the Town Hall, because you don't want that targeting some of your troops or heroes in an initial push. So with those ground bows taken out, while it doesn't impact the blimp that comes in, it could potentially impact the Yetis and the King, creating the value needed. So he gets a smooth sail coming across into that 130 chamber there, knocking it out and starting to shape up what we'll need to keep the hogs moving narrowly through. And the Queen dropped a little bit early to keep that King's movement heading to the Town Hall. And then we have the Queen with no defenses targeted on her, particularly because we've got the Ice Golem to tank, works her way in with a single layer wall break to take on the enemy Queen and the single IT, finishing off the shape that's needed for this pathing and taking on some key defenses on the back end of this raid. But you can see how beautifully shaped up this is, and that voided out chamber helping that push for this value here. So with the hogs sweeping through, we have Ixalis reserve a few hogs for the outlying defenses to get the big push coming in. I love the use of the spells coming in for the splash damage with the impact of the wizard towers and the scatter shots. The headhunters come right through as the hogs and heroes are defending for them so they can knock out the enemy heroes. But what we actually get to see here is the headhunters coming through as the hogs skirt along the outside edge of the defenses, and they pick up a couple of traps in there that could have done away with the hogs. So coming through into that back end scatter shot, the last freeze and heal coming over again into that heavy splash damage area to keep them safely through. And with the value that the Queen picked up early on in that front end, taking out the Queen, taking out the single, it's absolutely no worry for the rest of this raid. And we even have the RC who sails smoothly right behind them, holding on to that ability for the very end, which she didn't even need to drop. This could have been a swag RC ability coming through for the tail end. So a beautiful execution of a ZapQuake Hog. And again, the key really comes down to looking at the bases and taking advantage of the design. Shazo brings us this ZapQuake Lalo, and it probably has to be one of the most incredible quote-unquote series that I've ever seen, because the heroes actually remain to the very end. And he kicks it off with the ZapQuake. This is often what you start with, easier to get your placement down and get the value that you want. dropping the lightning and quakes here to take out the Expos and the CC, which actually not only opens up the pathing so the loons don't get spread out here, but knocks out a ground bow, which helps with the Sui opener here. So we're going to see the Ice Golem coming into play. That wall break opens up the path for the Ice Golem to walk its way in and do some heavy tanking for the king and the queen. The king comes pretty much directly behind him. That Ice Golem picking up massive value with his freeze range and giving the king and queen just a little bit more leeway. But I don't think Shazo really expected that it would get so much value out of it that he would have his king and queen up till the very end. So with the core eliminated, the queen stays out of range of the scatter shot. The king can take on a slight beating here, but the queen and king work their way around to the entire outside edge of the base, picking up the town hall and the outlying defenses. We have the Lalo phase that starts off with a stone slammer in line with the scatter shot, and this comes into beautiful effect here as it works its way right along the core, with the dragon opening up out of the CC directly targeted onto the queen here. So this enables a nice push coming in, the warden ability going off, keeping everything safely through, but that scatter shot's not even a worry here. And really critical thing is coming in on the back end of this one remaining air sweeper, which gives that nice easy push, no resistance moving forward. Loon sweep across. We've got the RC still in play with the ability, and this is where you can see the king and queen wrapping around that corner. There was very minimal defense on these heroes, so they were able to survive, work their way through. And with that, we have an entire raid left over. Loons, queen, king, warden, RC, all ready to go for another attack. Shazo need not worry to get his next raid in play. Today's shout out goes to Zeo Spiderman for being the first one to comment in the chat as soon as that video drops. So thanks so much for tuning in, and thank you for the support. And if you're not already subscribed and have the notifications on, don't forget to click on that subscribe button and turn on the notifications so you know when these videos drop. If you want to watch the wars that we actually do these recaps on live, head over to my Twitch, make sure to click the follow button and turn on those notifications so you know when I go live. And you can always join my Discord server, be a part of a great community. We have free weekly bases courtesy of Blueprint Base Building, and then you get the notifications for my YouTube videos, my live streams, and other giveaways that we're doing. So all that's in the description below. And until next time, I'll catch you guys later.